What's up? What's up, YouTube? Today, as I said, we're gonna talk about duplex conversions. We'll answer your questions, but at the same time, I have a special guest who is none other than Savio, who is a duplex conversion expert. So, Savio, first of all, thank you so much, man, for giving your time.
Thanks for having me. Always love to talk real estate investing with you, Aditya. So.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
So, as we said, I got you the guy who is behind this duplex conversion. So, start putting in your questions. But before that, Savio has some exciting news, which is duplex conversion course. So, I'm gonna ask him all these questions that I have, so that you can join me with your questions.
Yeah.
So, Savio, first of all, why did you choose to do duplex conversions?
Yeah, I get asked this question all the time from a lot of investors, right? Why are we doing duplex conversions?
Yeah.
It costs money.
Yeah.
So why the hell should I do it when I can go and buy a ready-made duplex by itself, right?
Exactly.
A turnkey project. And Aditya, I mean, you know more than everybody else, right? If you talk about Windsor and the Windsor market over here, any duplex that comes on the market is so expensive. It's so expensive. You can't get in anymore, especially if you are a Windsorite, right?
Yeah.
You're competing with over asking offers, multiple offers. Even if it's, excuse my French, but
Yeah.
a piece of crap, people are still offering 100, 200, sometimes 1,000 over asking,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So that's what happened to me. So when I came to Windsor, I started buying turnkey duplexes, as Windsor is known for.
Yeah.
But very soon I realized that, I can't afford it anymore. I cannot afford it anymore, So why not buy a single family home and convert it into a duplex? So you're buying at a single family price,
Yeah.
but you own a duplex. Like, how smart is that?
Wow. Yeah.
You
Because now you're getting the price of single family. And what else would be the beneficious? Because you're like specifying your niche into specific location.
Yes, definitely. I mean, we're going to talk about that for sure. That's one of the things that you have to be mindful of or aware of, that when you're going to do this conversion, you need to, at the end of the day, you're renting it, right?
Yeah.
You need the best tenants possible. Right?
Correct, yeah.
So you don't want, tenants that are going to be moving in and out all the time, causing damage to the property. Then you got to spend money to, it's any other rental that you're
Yeah.
talking about. So you want to be in the best neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Right. And the beauty of it, if I rewind one step, is that a duplex, you're taking a single family, you're converting it. Now you have positive cash flow even more than before, because you are renting the upper and
Yeah.
you're renting the lower separately, right? So honestly speaking, in Windsor, if I give you some numbers, on average, we are positive cash flow close to $1,000
Wow.
a month on each of these things.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah.
And that being in a good neighborhood, right?
Yes, it has to be in a good neighborhood, right? You wanna because you wanna attract the best tenants. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So, for guys, if you're watching this live, let us know if this is something you're interested in. Is this something that you are looking forward to do? Or if you have any idea about it. Hey, Ruben, hello. So just pop up your questions in while we are talking, because feel free to interrupt, because I'm gonna ask him a bunch of questions, but at the same time I want your questions too, because if you're newbie, especially if you haven't done something like this, just pop in your questions. Thanks for hopping on. So Savio, I'm actually looking forward to your course.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But first of all, before even about the getting into the course, how many duplex conversions have you done?
Okay, yeah. Good question. I'm talking like an expert. I better know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me think now. In 2019 and 2020 combined, we have completed 6 duplex conversions.
Wow.
We have 2 live projects as we speak.
Yep.
That's going on.
And one of them is my clients.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, both of them are your clients.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's true.
Both of them are your clients. And then we have 2 more starting September 1st.
Okay.
Yes.
So you know what you're talking.
Well, at least I hope. Listen, it's don't get it twisted, don't get it wrong. It is a learning process. Like everything else, you got to educate yourself,
Yeah.
right? When I started doing it, the first one, I dove in without knowing anything, and I learned the hard way, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I had somebody to hold my hand while I was doing it, it would have been faster, it would have been cheaper, for sure, right? Like anything else. But I'm the kind of guy, I think, like a lot of investors as well, we like to dive in and find out the hard way and get our fingers dirty and our hands dirty. Right? That's what I did, right? So, but you learn along the way. And I think before you ask me a question, I'm going to answer a question that I think most, I want to say newbie investors have, Aditya. When you talk about legal conversions, because they say, how do we do it? Not only how do we do it, it costs a lot of money and I don't know how to do it, right? So why should I do it in the first place? Or, where am I going to get this education from? Right? And that's exactly why we are putting this course out, because if we can take you to the shortest way to your end goal, why not do that, right? Versus learning the hard way.
Exactly.
I think any and everybody can do it. It's a matter of knowing what your laws are, your bylaws are in your specific municipality. We'll talk about all that later. But it's education. You need to educate yourself and you need to learn.
So
for sure.
How does this course will help someone like newbie, for example, like I haven't done a duplex conversion. Definitely I would be interested to. So what would I get if I join this course, and what kind of content you're gonna cover?
In one word, fearlessness. That's what you're going to get, right? Because that's the thing. People who have not done a duplex conversion, they're fearful. Right? They're fearful about whether they can and cannot do it. They're fearful about whether they're going to get their money back, their investment back. They're fearful of the inspector because they don't know the rules, they don't know the regulations. And an inspector in most societies is the boss, right? And if they say something, means you have to go by it, right? What we're trying to do in this course is really take those fears away from you. So we're going to give you the tools, we're going to give you the practical knowledge that on Monday after the course, the weekend course, you can go and you can do it yourself without any problem.
Will you be showing some of your projects, like live projects that you have done?
Absolutely. So the course is actually, if you want to get into the course, the actual course is a day and a half long. Right? So it's a Saturday where it's a virtual course, first of all. So it's not theory, but it's practical theory, right? So listen, in this course, we're not talking about mindset, okay? Don't get it wrong. I'm sorry. I mean, I know a lot of people do mindset stuff and that's great, but there's no fluffy crap in this course, right? We are talking straight details, operational details, numbers, right? What does it cost to do a legal conversion? What kind of home are you looking to buy? Which areas, which markets are you looking to buy these homes in? How much you got to put into it to actually convert it? What's the projected cash flow you're going to get after that, right? So we're going to get into the real nitty gritty, and there's formulas and tables and so on and so forth, right? So you better know your Excel, guys, because that's important. And then we're going to go into exactly how do you do it, right? What do you need to know and how do you do it? So it's really operational in that sense. It's nothing about, okay, get your mind right and be positive and all that. No, you've made your decision. Let's go and do a legal conversion. Pretty much.
Got it. So I'm really newbie in terms of when it comes to duplex. Of course, we did a couple of videos talking about details of your project.
Yes.
We showed before renovations, after renovations. So can you talk quickly about that project? How much you purchased for, what kind of renovations you put in, roughly. I know it's a huge things to discuss every details, but if you can give us in quick.
No, I think I think it's important because people, if you're investing in Windsor, I mean, the number might change, but the concept is the same. Right. So in Windsor, we bought that particular property for $275,000. Right. October 2019.
Okay, that's important.
October 2019. You and I know both that same house is now in 350 and above. Right.
As is.
As is. Correct. So if you talk about the BRRRR strategy, right. So I should mention this. The idea of doing a legal conversion is really matching along with the BRRRR strategy. The only difference is that you're accelerating the refinance, right? The value for the refinance. So typical BRRRR strategy, you buy, right? Then you renovate, you do some cosmetic updates. It's a single family home. Let's take that example. And you're renting it out to a single family, right? And over time, it increases in value. You're going to the bank, you're refinancing, you're getting that money out. Right? In a legal conversion, you're actually changing the highest and best use of the property. So the refinance value, again, you're buying it as a single family, but you're refinancing as a duplex. So you're accelerating that refinance value quite rapidly, right? So Going back to the project that we're talking about in South Windsor here, we bought that at 275 October 2019. We put about 125,000 into it.
Okay.
125,000. It's a lot. If you ask me.
So pretty much you're at like 400,000.
Yeah.
But here, like, did you put in like all cash for renovations and the purchase price, or how did you do that? Like, how did you get the money for purchase price and the renovations?
Private money.
Okay.
Completely private money.
Including the purchase price, including the renovations.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So what's the ARV on that one?
So right now the ARV is 500 plus.
So did you already refinance it?
We did refinance it. Here's the thing. So it was the first refi in South Windsor for such kind of a project, right? So we got it refied at 450.
Okay.
And we had many discussions with the appraisers, and they all told me straight to my face, they said, Savio, listen, you're the first one who did this. This is the first project in South Windsor. Come back after the next one, and you're probably going to get a higher value.
Yeah, because nowadays just the single family sort of like.
Exactly. So that's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, we paid back our private money, right? My partner and I, we paid back our private money, and we still took away we got about 65% of our total investment back in cash that we could do it again, and that's what we do.
What's the cash flow look like right now?
After refinancing, we are cash flowing $800 a month.
In South Windsor, $800. Not
Pure
bad.
cash.
Not bad.
Pure cash.
How long did it take?
That project took us about 6 months.
Okay, but that was like you're doing it for the first time.
Correct.
So
yeah.
Now, how long do you think like it will take with the experience you have now?
I still want to say, I would say on the quick side, it should take about 4 months. But you never know. I mean, the city's busy, right?
Yeah.
You're dependent on the city for permits. That's the first thing, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing: in the course that we're going to talk about, we're going to give you the tools to get those permits as fast as possible and not waste time, going back and forth, right? So we give you the tips and tricks to get the permits. So as soon as you close on the house, you start the project, right?
Yeah.
So there is some element that's not in your control when it comes to the city, when it comes to contractors, obviously.
Yeah.
But we're going to teach you to line that up in such a way that you can control it and shorten the time as possible.
Got it.
Yeah.
So in the meanwhile, let's take a look at some comments here.
Sure.
Hey, Lavpreet Singh. Hey boss, what's up? Ruben, we need to connect. I tried few times and no luck. I wanted to start investing in Windsor. Hey Ruben, sorry if you tried to reach out to me.
Come on down. Come on down.
So there is a email and phone number. You should see in most of my videos. Send an email or reach out to on the phone. My assistant will pick up and schedule a call with me. Then we can connect. Nazar, hey, I know it's a good friend of us.
Yeah. He's a partner on the project that we talked about.
Oh yeah, that's
hey,
right.
Nazar, how's it going?
There you go, the partner is there. So Ramesh, hey Ramesh, I remember that project. Of course you remember because you're working on that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So guys, let us know if you have any more questions. But so how can we get access to this course and when is that coming up?
Yeah, so I should say, first of all, the course is September 19th and 20th, right? So it's a day and a half.
Okay.
The first day is really, as I said, operational. So we're going to be talking about, we actually partnered up and we teamed up this time, Aditya, with a slew of really experts, right? So we partnered up with the Right Club. Guys, the Right Club is out of Burlington. For those of you who don't know, they're a huge club like the Wind City Investors Club. They have, 4,000, 5,000 plus members, and we've taken that because GTA is this strategy when it comes to duplex conversions is really coming out of the GTA, right? And the reason for that is because, again, as we talked before, the pricing, right?
Yeah.
So this is the only way somebody can actually cash flow in the GTA. It's very much new in Windsor, but I can tell you already.
Yeah, because we were cash flow. We are cash flowing in most of the other areas, right?
Right. But once that the property prices continue to go the trajectory that it is going, we'll have to find other sources. So that's why it's here. So anyway, going back to the GTA, there's a lot of people who don't know that. So we partnered up with the Right Club. We partnered up with Elevation Realty, Dylan Suter, right? Who basically is a realtor in the local GTA market there. He deals and Ken Beckendam, who's the expert, really the technical expert of legal second suites, and my partner on this course. They invest really in Hamilton, in Welland, St. Catharines, Brantford, Ontario, right? All these little pockets which are outside the Toronto, little bit outside the Toronto area, where this is perfect for duplex conversions. So we've partnered up with all these guys to bring this course to the whole of Ontario.
Wow.
This is version 2. Right, and it's updated and it's a better version and it's more detailed and so on and so forth. Version 3 is probably we're going to take it out to Ottawa, all the way to Ottawa, right? So wait for that; it's coming too. But what I want to say is that we are partnering up with experts because we truly believe that this is the number one strategy in real estate investing today. Right, when you're talking about single family homes,
yeah,
you can flip, you can do straight rentals, you can do the BRRRR strategy, but this is the best way to go. So the course is 1.5 days, right? The first day is pretty much operational stuff. We're going to teach you things like within these markets, so within Windsor, within within Welland or Brantford, where do you want to do it? You can't do it everywhere. We talked about nice neighborhoods, right? You can't just do it everywhere. We are going to do that market analysis for you and we're going to bring that to you and we're going to tell you, listen, in Windsor, South Windsor is the place to be, or East Windsor is the place to be. And
so
these are the reasons
the market experts to show which markets are make sense.
Exactly.
So quickly, I'm going to take a question here because that's something actually I wanted to ask as well.
Yeah.
Can you briefly explain pulling out the money part of the BRRRR strategy and amount you're pulling? So actually, I'm going to re-change the question a little bit.
Okay.
So if I have to compare with the BRRRR strategy of duplex conversions with a normal BRRRR strategy where you buy a property that needs some love and you just do then refinance.
Yeah.
So would you compare both of them first of all? And second of all, do you still consider the duplex conversions are the best strategy comparative to normal duplex conversion, normal BRRRR strategy?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you why. So again, as we mentioned before, the BRRRR strategy. I didn't know who asked the question, but the BRRRR strategy or the duplex conversion is a tweak on the BRRRR strategy, right? It's still the BRRRR strategy where you're buying, where you're renovating, you're renting, and then you're refinancing.
Yeah.
The only difference is that in the duplex conversion, and this is the key difference, you are changing the highest and best use of that building, right? So you are buying a single family, you're converting the basement into another unit, now you're refinancing at a duplex. So when you go to the bank, you're going to the bank and saying, listen, Mr. Bank, I don't want refinance 80% loan to value, of course, of a single family home that's just been renovated.
Yeah.
I want 80% of value of a duplex.
Yeah.
Right? So that same house, let's say we do the same thing, right? But we don't do a legal second suite.
Got
we just do a mother-in-law suite.
So it's pretty much the next level, like a...
Yeah.
Because now it makes sense because all of a sudden you do the same TLC work on the main floor or whatever that unit.
Yeah.
It's just a single family as the highest best price.
Correct.
So that's when you're going to pull the money out, whatever the after repair value is.
Correct.
But in this case, you are doing that part and along with the additional unit, so all of a sudden your after repair value will be higher.
Exactly.
Got it.
Exactly.
Got it. So you're still pulling the money out.
You're pulling 80% of a higher value.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah,
Not of a lower value, of a higher value.
Okay, now it makes sense. So now it's like, I think another benefit that I can think of is, tell me if you agree or not. So most of the areas where you see a lot of multifamilies like duplexes, triplexes, all these fourplexes, especially in Windsor, or more like older homes, like older buildings, they're hard to find like new or at least 30-40 years old bungalows like you're doing.
Yeah.
Most of the Walkerville area, all these small multifamilies are like
100
80.
plus.
Yeah, exactly.
100 plus years.
So
banks love it. Banks love it. Number one. Number two, here's the thing. So not only you're going for the higher value on the refi, but the banks love the fact that you have income to show.
Yeah.
Because it's a legal duplex, you can show the 2 leases.
Yeah.
And the bank says, okay, we take, whatever they take in their formula, maybe it's 100%, maybe it's 80%, maybe it's 50% of the rental income, but it's 2 rental incomes now, right?
Yeah.
So they like it when they see that it's okay, this house or this property can afford itself, right?
Yeah.
It pays for itself. So it's easier to get financed that way.
Makes sense.
Got it?
So let me just see if his question is the same. Enhanced BRRRR strategy to say. That's right, Ramesh.
BRRRR on crack.
Are you pulling the amount at what will leave you at 80% loan to equity? Can you briefly explain? So pulling money out, you had just explained, part of the BRRRR strategy.
Yeah.
Amount are you pulling out exactly? What amount are you pulling out exactly? Is it 80% loan to value, right?
80% loan to value, exactly.
Yeah, because it's a single family still.
Yeah. So with that 80% loan to value, you pay off your private money if you're using private money.
Mm-hmm.
You pay off whatever they gotta pay off, right? And you're still left back with cash in hand.
Yeah.
In our case, we got 60% of our total investment.
Yeah.
Right back. So there's still 40% in the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's only because it's something new in Windsor. You do this I can tell you do this in Brantford or Welland or Hamilton, you're getting 100% of your money back.
Yeah.
100%, right?
Maybe
of your
like,
total investment.
is it because Windsor is still new for this kind of a,
Correct.
Maybe once going forward, because single families are going at that price. I'm surprised like your after repair value was like 450.
Yeah.
Because you and me were bidding on, that property that I was bidding on. Single family, it was like just a 3-bedroom, 1 bath on the main floor and 1 bedroom, 1 bath and no kitchen, nothing. Listed for 399, sold for freaking 575,000 in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, that's that's an anomaly, right? So
yeah,
it's I don't think it's a good comparison for what we're doing. Of course, I'm definitely going to use that as a comp. I'm going to ask to use it as a comp for sure, because that's a single family and mine's a duplex.
Exactly.
So it's a great comp to have. That's why you got to buy in South Windsor. And you got to bid on everything in South Windsor. We're closing on one next week, Aditya, as you know, which is 329. So it works perfectly, right? 329, you can still cash flow. You put in 100, close to 80 or 100, get a duplex. Now you're going, so your total investment is about 400, correct?
Yeah.
And then we go to the bank and we say, listen, now it's a duplex, give us 80% loan to value. Usually they're taking, you should get about 500 plus, right? That's the sweet spot. And I think in the next couple of months, you'll get that, and I'll tell you why you'll get that in a second. But if you get 80% of 500, now you're paying off your creditors, you're paying off your lenders, you still have money in the bank that you can actually go and do this again, use that money as a down payment to do the next one, and you have a $500,000 worth property, which is still cash flowing $800 a month, right? So the math is no problem. So here's the beauty for the guys who are thinking about joining this version 2 of the course. We had the first version of Aditya, which was really Windsor specific in March.
Okay, so is this course is not just the Windsor?
It's not just Windsor. So I said, we're going to be we're going to be talking municipalities of, again, Hamilton, Welland, St. Catharines, Brantford, and Windsor.
So can I get any discount for the course?
Sure. We got some gifts for you. Don't worry.
VIP tickets.
Yeah, for sure. We got some gifts for you. But so as I said, the first course was only for Windsor. We have graduates who are actually doing something, right?
Okay.
So they came out of the course and they said, wow, right? We got to do this. And we have guys who are doing it. Here's the beauty of it. Those guys are going to refi their houses, I think, in another month. They're almost close to the end of their project. And one of them is even thinking about selling it, right? As a turnkey duplex. As soon as those get refied, now you have more comps.
And if one of them sells, then you got
a sure
comp, right? Because so far we don't have any duplexes in a nicer neighborhood at all. I know we both are pulling the comps, like no comparables. But once we have 1 or 2 comparables come at that level, now it's a different game plan.
Yeah. So for the guys who go for this course, by the time you're done with this course and you're done with your project, you're going to get, I would say, much more than 500.
Yeah. And on top of the course, actually, what I really like is you take the clients and you help them with the whole process. So how does that work?
Yeah.
Because I know you're helping 2 of my clients. They're really super happy and excited because, they're learning this course, but at the same time, they're actually pretty much working with you and learning along the way.
Yeah. No, that's, when we put this thing together, Ken Beckenham and I, as partners for this, we said to ourselves, we've gone to a lot of training, right? And you have as well, Aditya. And a lot of times is that, okay, you pay money, sometimes very big money for the course, right? And you get all this information, there's a lot of information, a lot of theory, a lot of knowledge. And then the next day you go out and that's it,
That's it, yeah.
1 week later, that course is forgotten about, right? Maybe you'll use part of it at some point, but maybe you won't. Most likely you won't. And when Ken and I put this together, we said, listen, one of the things we got to do is we got to a little bit hold these people's hand, right? To come for the course. They're paying money for our expertise. It's our duty to make sure that their projects actually take off the ground and be successful.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're doing, right? So, your clients who are also graduates from the first version of the course, they want to do it, but they're a little bit fear. They still have that fear,
so
right?
Exactly, because it's still like, practicality, theory is different from the practical.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing that, like, honestly, I'm fearful, because especially duplex conversion, it's like, I have to go to talk to city. I have to do all this paperwork, you know? And it's so much money. So
and maybe you have a full-time job. Maybe you don't have the time,
and
right?
I'm super busy with my own clients. See, one of my clients said, "Oh, I'm not responding to him." So so I have my own thing to do, right? Like, so
so that's exactly why Ken and I are here to help the people who go to the course. We want to see you succeed, and everybody's asked, oh, okay, what's in it for you? I'll tell you what's in it for me. Number one, the best way to learn something is to teach it. Right. So as I'm teaching you guys, I'm actually learning more. I'll be very honest with you. Right. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the more of these we put in the market, there's more stock of available rentals in the market, which we know in Ontario is an issue. Right. So ethically, that's a good thing. We are putting more stock into the market. And second of all, I get great comps for my own properties, right? So
you selfish.
Yeah. Call it what you want, right? So it's my number one goal to make sure that your project is actually successful.
No, that's really great help for especially people who are fearful, right? Like, I mean, honestly, like, that's the reason why I'm working with you to get my 6-unit building get going on the project. So no, that's really awesome. So, I know the big question that many people will ask me right now is like, oh, this guy's talking a lot about course, and I'm curious, what's this course, pricing look like?
Click the link below. we definitely have some special pricing. So we're, as I said, it's September 19th, 20th. It's a few weeks away. We still have early bird special going on. I can tell you guys, for the value that you're going to get in this course, the price is nothing. Okay, because there's so much we're going to give you that at the end of it you'll be like, wow, did I just pay for this? I mean, it's in the thousands, right? It's in the tens of thousands, the value. Because one of the things that we talked about, I think the biggest value is at the end of the course you have Ken and my direct contact, right?
So that's a big thing.
That's a big thing. If you already have a project that you're going to run, that's important, right? We are there to help you. Or if you're looking for a project, then we are there to help you as well, because you'll need a realtor to find you the job. Here's the guy. It's Dylan Suter in that part of the of the GTA, right? You need contractors. You need all this thing. That's what we are there for, right? So the value is just too much. It's just too much,
Another simple question that even I have, like, is this a course that anyone can join, or is it who can really join in this kind of course?
Great question. We thought about that a lot, right? So initially, we thought about, okay, it's investor, because who's going to do this? It's an investor, right? Who's going to do a duplex? They're looking for money. Wrong. Actually, that's wrong, right? Because if you think about it, listen, if you are not an investor, think about it. If you are not an investor, right, you're just starting off let's say your life outside your parents' house. You're a young couple, right? And you have a house. You're paying mortgage, you have okay jobs, right? But you want to cut your costs down. You want to do something, you want to invest. You are thinking about your long-term future. House hacking, right? This is the perfect example of a house hack. Where if you as a homeowner can actually convert your basement into a legal second suite, then you can rent that out and live for free. Live for free. Who doesn't want to live for free, right? So maybe you're not a full-time investor. Maybe you're just a homeowner. You can do this, right? Investors you talked about. Actually, there are more people. Let's assume you're a contractor. Like, you're a contractor who has his own business, right? So in that sense, why not target investors who are doing this kind of stuff, right? Only this kind of stuff. Because if you have the knowledge, how much advantage you have than the next guy who's not doing this, right? You can walk into a building with your client and say to your client, oh, this is perfect for legal conversion. You got the basement height, you got the egress windows, you got the separate entrance, you got the driveway, you got all this on the list, let's do it. So you will have knowledge, which is power if you're a contractor, right? Let's say you're an architect. For example, let's say you're just an architect, or you're going to school to be an architect and you want to do this. I can tell you, my architect who helps us in the design, this is all she does. She has enough business from just doing legal conversion drawings.
Wow. In Windsor?
In Windsor.
Wow.
Aditya, she has, what was I going to say? It takes her 3 days to actually draw. Okay? Because it's like a cookie cutter, right? It's cut and paste. She charges about $2,500 for that. But if you're a budding architect, beautiful, here's your business.
Yeah.
You're gonna have enough business for the rest of your life if you want to do this. But here's the thing, you'll get the knowledge. That's why you need to come to the course.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
And okay, Summer, Rabia, I need names of contractors like painter, drywall, etc. as I need to build my basement, and thanks. Brother, you gotta Google or you gotta DM or you gotta make friends, right?
Or buy a ticket, we'll share you our contacts.
Yeah, you gotta know people. Online, it's hard to get that information, or you can get Google reviews.
But that's a great. It's actually a great question because this is the thing, right? And this is the advantage of the course. Because somebody wants to do this, they want to do themselves, right?
Yeah.
They want to experience that themselves, right? Which is fine. That's great. Don't come for the course, but they want the contacts. You go on Google, and you by all means go on Google. You're not going to find a contractor that says specialized in legal second suites or specialized in ADUs, addition dwelling units. They're a general contractor. They're a carpenter, they're HVAC guy, whatever. I can tell you there are differences between guys that that know what they know versus guys who don't know. Right? In that project that we talked about, my first project, I spent, I think, on the first plumber, about $8,000. I wasted $8,000 on the guy. Right? And why? Because he didn't know anything about legal second suites. He didn't know the code. He didn't know where he's supposed to do his thing, right? And how to interact with the other trades. And it took me a lot of time and a lot of energy wasting with this guy to finally fire him and get a plumber who knew what he was doing, and he had to correct everything the first guy did.
Oh, shit.
All right? So I'm going to name and shame Lakeshore Plumbing. Don't ever use him. Dave Confletti. I don't like that guy. He doesn't know what he's doing. All right?
So you got it. No, that's a really valuable point, right? Like it's hard to get those contacts unless you're in that inner circle.
Exactly.
Sometimes, randomly, if you're asking me for contacts, how can I give a good contact whom I've been working with, especially if I don't know you, right? I don't have any prior relation. But courses like this, the reason why you and me became friends, because we used to go for the Cassidy's event where, we paid that ticket and we used to hang over, and now we became friends and we share the contacts.
Yeah.
But we cannot give that contacts online for everyone who ever asked, right?
Yeah.
So you got to make that connection. So that's another great way for being in the place.
Yeah.
Right place to have the right contacts. Please answer some questions piling up. Yes, yeah, okay. Okay.
Let's get to the questions. Aditya, what are you doing? Come on.
Okay. So, is there duplex units available in Windsor for price range 300 to 350, less than 30 years old? Okay, straight answer, 99% no. Shake. It's really hard to find a duplex 30 years old. So that's why.
That's exactly why we do this.
Exactly.
You don't want a turnkey.
I agree 1000% in that with Savio, because that's really hard to find a duplex in like newer duplexes. So maybe Savio need to help us to build one directly as a duplex. Please tell me how to buy rental property if students are going back to India and going to study online from India. Okay, it's unrelated topic.
Sure.
But I want to answer.
Yeah, please.
Because again, that's a great question. Students going back to India. First of all, I'm an Indian student. I came from India as a student. So I would not want to take any course online from India to live there. Because the reason I took the course, whatever the college course that I took, is to come to Canada. It's just a reason for coming to Canada. So that means I'm gonna come no matter what. I would say, like, I promise more than 80% of students coming from international are for a reason to settle down here or to study and get a job and make money here. So not just for the studies itself. So that means they're gonna come.
Yeah.
Would you agree with me?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm gonna give it from the other side as well, because I don't know, buddy, if you're in Windsor or not, but the city of Windsor needs these students to come back here, right? So now it's online, but I can guarantee you, don't quote me on this, I'll say you're lying, but in January, at the most in March, they're going to open up international students to come back over here as well. I mean, they'll stop this online business because the amount of revenue that they generate from students in Windsor is massive. The city can't afford students not to be sitting in Windsor and go back home and study online. So they'll be pushing for them to come back.
Because that's a great point, because it depends. It increases the city economy as well, right?
For sure.
Because people come here, they buy clothes, they buy food, they buy cars, they
use transportation.
Yeah.
They buy, you have to pay for gas. They work.
Yeah.
They work. Students are working. Students,
Exactly.
So they pay taxes.
That's a great question. That's a great question and great answer, actually. So let's go back some more questions here. Please, student rentals that we answered. What your take on CMHC warning the lenders of risk involved in home mortgage amid the current economy turbulence? Do you want to take that question on?
Yeah, I mean, I can answer it very quickly. CMHC should be sued for their comments. That's my particular opinion. Like, who the hell are CMHC guys? In the sense of, do they know they have a crystal ball to tell us what's happening in the real estate market? In fact, they're trying to control it. With that, everybody's getting fear, right? It's fear, right? But you can go to Jedworth, you can go to the other insurance agencies that are actually still continuing to insure properties, right?
Yeah.
Now, listen, I say this with a caveat, right? My personal opinion is that in the next, not in before the end of the year, but probably in 2021, you are going to find opportunities because there's a big number of deferrals, right? People are deferring their mortgage payments and so on and so forth. When they become finally due, and if they haven't gone back to work or they can't pay, people are going to want to sell their houses.
Yeah.
So if we talk about, again, going back to this legal conversion, how about this? The same house that I'm closing on 330, Aditya sold the exact same house, or we offered an exact same house, sold for 575. Maybe at the end of this year, you're going back to 275 for that house.
Yeah, it's
right?
possible.
So how about getting the knowledge from the course and being ready, lining up your tools that when there's an opportunity, you can act fast.
I love that, Savio. That's really, like, so many people ask me, oh, do I wait or do I buy or do I learn the course now? Or, man, you got to be prepared in order to take actions when economy changes.
Yeah.
If you don't have any freaking idea how you're going to act on the knowledge or, act on the opportunity if it presents in a year or so.
Yeah.
So you got to be in the game.
Offer. If you're not offering today, if you want to do this, seriously, if you want to do this, right, and you're not offering today on these houses, you're not going to get any of these houses. I can tell you. You got to know exactly every single house that pops up in the vicinity that you want to work with this thing, with a duplex conversion, so you are aware of the market, your years on the market. I can tell you, graduates from my first course, I talk to them almost every other day, right? And they know, there's a little chat we have going on, right? As soon as a house comes up, hey, are you offering it? Hey, what's your offer, right? Because the guys want to buy the house, right?
Yeah.
So when the opportunity arises, boom, they got it. And two of your clients, my students, have got that opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So you got to do it now. Don't wait.
I love that. Sunny, doing a great job, bro. So thank you, Savio, and thank you, Aditya, informing us, coming investors. By the way, can students buy a house in Canada? If you have money.
Anybody can buy a house in Canada.
Yeah, if you have money, or if you
foreigners can buy a house.
Yeah, exactly. And you can find private money if you can find ways to show them assets or something. So it's pretty much, it depends on person to person. Do you think getting mortgages will get tougher in few months?
I don't have a crystal ball, man. Honestly, right? I don't have a crystal ball. So all the more reason why you got to get pre-approved today.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Don't wait.
Man, with the real estate, one thing I can say, no matter what happens with the market in next 1 year or 2 years, even if it crashes, with the real estate, always buy now than later. But buy it, with the numbers, right? Like Savio said, maybe make sure you buy the property single family where you can do the duplex conversion, where you can cash flow. If the market goes down, now you have make it cash flowing property. You don't care about that property. Now you have the knowledge, go buy, get some investors, buy another property because now you're getting some discounts.
Yeah. I was...
Delay that for a second there.
Yeah, no, so going back, I was listening to a podcast, in the car, and they were talking about basically the last real estate crash in Canada. So that was crash, okay, what they call a crash. So that was 2007, 2008. I wasn't here at that time, okay?
I wasn't here too.
But there was doom and gloom everywhere. The market dipped. It dipped slightly. And they said, oh my God, the world is falling, right? And this podcast was by a bunch of investors, and all their clients were talking about, oh no, we don't want to buy anymore. Let's put the cash under our mattress and wait, right? But the smart investors, when that happened, they bought, right?
Yeah.
And those same guys from 2007, we had 2020 guys. That's not long ago. That's 13 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Then you'll never hear from them again because they retired.
Yeah.
They got so much property and they're getting so much money from those property. They don't have to go on FaceTime or YouTube or Instagram or show themselves or try and get joint venture partners. They're done. They're on the beach somewhere. So if you're waiting for the crash, it's never going to happen, right?
I love
the
that.
best time was to buy yesterday.
Exactly. Second best time is today.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. Yeah.
Okay. Questions are piling up. I'll try to come up with quickly. Please answer some of the questions piling up. Oh, that's already gone. What average cost of construction a legal basement apartment in Windsor for most of the houses?
So good question. I always say, somewhere between 80,000 and 120,000 because it's variable, right? So it depends if you're doing anything to the upper unit or can you rent it as is. It depends on what you're doing to the landscaping outside, if you got to make a driveway or not. So it all depends. So I would say between 80 on the low side and 120 on the high side.
There you go. Average, that's gone. Calci, I'm curious as well, what are your opinions on student rental now in Windsor post-COVID? Still good cash flowing business with low vacancies. So student rental, students will come back, as Savio mentioned. I have a strong faith in that because they have nowhere to go. Just it's a delayed gratitude. Right now there is less demand because people are fearful. So you have some buying opportunities there. I live in Windsor and I'm Arabic guy, Rabia, and they are going back to India to save money to pay to St. Clair College and University of Windsor for parking, rent, etc.
Let me comment on that, Rabia. So you're saying that basically you have a student rental next to St. Clair, and you're probably pissed off because the students are going back, right? But here's the thing. Here's where you made a mistake, man. Because you are taking in St. Clair or that area, I know it very well. You're talking about the typical South Windsor bungalow, right? And you're renting it by room. But here's the thing. If you had done a legal conversion and converted that basement into a separate unit, right? Legally, you wouldn't care if those tenants left, the individual students left, because now you would rent both up and down as two family units.
Yeah.
And you probably have a longer term, more secure kind of income when things like this happen.
Yeah,
so let that marinate.
It's a combination of killing two birds at one shot.
Absolutely.
Love that. So Aditya, is that seventh property of yours going to be rental? Did you use JV partner on the property? Brother, all the details will coming up in the next video. Because I don't want to, I want to save this video for, especially where we have our guest who is expert with duplex conversions. Let's use his, come on guys, milk him, get some knowledge about this course and, duplex conversions, which is such a interesting opportunity. So let's talk about that property in the next video. How long of wait is to be approved for duplex conversions? That's another great question, Savio, for you. S is the guy who is asking. So
let me read the question again. How long of a wait is it to be approved for? Can you expand on the question? S, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the permits or are you talking about
maybe
refi?
I think he's talking about the permits. Maybe, you know what? That's a good question. Let's take an opportunity to each one.
Yeah, so, okay, let's talk about it. So when you come to permits, right? Again, this is something that you can't control because it's the city of Windsor, right? But what you can do is you can influence them a lot, right? So we have an example for a common client of Aditya's and mine. We're doing a legal conversion. He closed on the house in July 31st, right? Before even closing, we applied to the city for permits in July 1st, okay? He didn't even technically own the house, but we got the drawings done and we applied, right, for the permits. Right as soon as the conditions were removed from the offer. Okay, by doing that, now it's in the system. And what did we do? I think after 2 weeks, the city came back and said, "Oh, you don't even own the house. We need an approval from the actual owner." But we kept in communication with them and we said, "Listen, we are closing in 2 weeks. Everything is removed. Let's start the process. Don't give us the permit until we show you that we have legal title to the house." So the city said, yeah, okay, fine, let's do the process, let's cut the time. We followed up. First it was every week, then it was every 3 days, then it was every 2 days, then it was every day we followed up. And when we closed the house, boom, 4 weeks we had the permit and we are ready to construct. So these are the kind of things we teach you in the course, how to attack and how to do it so in order to save your time, right?
Honestly, like when you told me, like after we got the property on contract, I was surprised because I didn't know that you can apply before even you close the property. I was really surprised, like when I was talking to the client and he said, oh, can you ask permission for the seller? I'm like, oh, can you do that, right? Like, so that's why you need to have the right,
Yeah, that we're gonna share. I mean, there's so many tips and tricks, right? And that's why listen. I'm not trying to sell the course, guys. Right? The price is so cheap for the value again, right? And we want to share this information, but it takes time to put all this together, and that's the only reason why we are charging for it, right? The money that we're actually charging the course is peanuts, right? It's not doing anything for us, but we want people to actually do this kind of strategy.
I want to just make a little comment on that. Really, in terms of learning, spending some money on the courses, right? Even if it's like 5,000, 3,000, 2,000, man, I spent, I think, over 30,000 for my IT course in Canada.
Wow.
And I have to learn another course after I completed my studies to get a job.
Yeah.
So it's fucking 30,000. I'm sorry, ma'am, don't mind my words, but like, it's so much money, and I did spend a lot on courses, right? The reason I'm here right now as a realtor and investor, doing all these things, if I did not spend my money on these courses, like learning from the genuine guys, not like, I know some courses are stupid, like, where all they do is like take from one course to another course, absolutely. Like it's stupidity. But like for your course, I know because I know about the first course where you literally charge like something 500 or something.
Yeah.
It was like, literally, guys, it's 1 month your coffee and breakfast fees, but the knowledge that you're gonna gain from that course is like insane. I spent like more than 10,000 for many learning courses. So you gotta spend to learn, but spend wisely on the right people who are actually doing things, not just saying, who are just sitting on somewhere, like not on the ground at all, who doesn't know anything, right? So
exactly. No, that's really a fair point. I mean, listen, guys, the knowledge that you're going to get from the course is going to make you millionaires, right?
Yeah.
That's the key. You got to keep that in mind, okay? This technique or this strategy is going to make you a millionaire. You do this, I would say you do this once a year, and with the numbers and how we're going to teach you to do it, you can do it once a year by yourself. You don't need joint venture partners. You don't need anybody. You can do it yourself, right? Once a year. You do that 5 times in 5 years, you can retire. I guarantee you.
Love that. So some more questions. Questions are piling up. Do you recommend buying turnkey duplexes? What is the fair market price for them right now in Windsor? Again, we covered most of things in the beginning.
By all means, go for it. If you can afford it, go for it.
Exactly. And if you really want something, don't want to spend time at all, like you don't mind about old properties, I started with duplex. Savio started with duplexes. So it really depends on what you want to do. But rewatch this video because we really talked so many pros and cons about that part.
Or send Aditya a message or send me a message. And we can talk about it more.
That's a simple thing, DM. Because now we can talk about your specific scenario. Oz. Aditya, you did not mention legal basement apartment for your 7th property. So my 7th property, it's just a single family. It's not a fit property for duplex conversions because I haven't did a duplex conversion. The reason I'm sitting with Savio is because I want to learn. Maybe I want to do the next one. Maybe I could be his next, the mentee to get the project done.
Sure.
The permits, I think he answered. Is Windsor tough on illegal basement apartments? I think you want to take on this one.
Great question. A couple of years ago, if somebody asked me this question, I would say no, not at all. But now I can tell you with the advent of the first course and the graduates who are doing it, with myself who are doing so many, the city understands and knows that the permits that we are applying for is for legal second suites. So in coordination with that, what they're doing is they're cracking down on illegal. I have the city inspector's number on my phone. He sends me deals right? That he says, listen, I've been to this house, it's illegal, we're shutting the whole thing down. That guy is about to sell, and the guy is the investor is asking the inspector, do you know of people who want to buy this? Because I'm done with this, right?
Yeah.
Because the cost to redo it is so much for him, and he was making all this money before, he doesn't want to spend for it. So absolutely, they're cracking down on it right now.
Actually, unexpected things also happens. One of my client bought a property just a year ago. We bought it as a single family, and he knows that, but there was already a kitchen and everything. I told him, hey, you can rent it non-conformly, but the thing is, if someone complains, and he took a chance, he just rented out, but unexpectedly, he got a call from the city saying that, hey, you have a second unit in the basement, and then he had to the fire department has to come in and ask to do certain things, but on top of that, he was digging on how this happened. Surprising thing is the couple living in the basement, they had fight, and the boyfriend complained to the city.
Yeah.
So unexpected things happen.
Yeah. You don't take the risk, man.
Yeah.
The city, I should say the other way around, the city of Windsor is so helpful, and they want these things to be done. The additional dwelling unit, whether it's in the basement or it's an accessory dwelling unit on the side of your house, or it's a detached unit, on your driveway, they are promoting this a lot. So in order to get the permits and things like that, they're easy. They're easy. I know for a fact, compared to other municipalities in Ontario, it's hard. So why not take advantage of that?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. So another question, Sheikh. What's the city fee for duplex conversion permit? Does the fee vary across the cities in Ontario?
It does vary. It's about between 16 and 17 cents per $100,000 of work done, right? So, for example, when you apply for your permit, you have to give your budget. So, how much you're going to spend in actually doing the reno? So, let's say your budget is $100,000. They'll take 16 or 17%. It depends on which municipality you are. Between 15 and 17, so it's like $1,700, right, on the upper.
Okay.
Simple formula.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh, wow.
That's it. So always put a low amount of your budget.
I love
That's
that.
another trick.
Man, so many things actually. I'm learning so many things. Guys, if you love this, hit that thumbs up button and say thank you to Savio.
Wow. Thank you for having me on your channel and talking to your people. Right?
Because I'm learning too. So thank both of us. Simple. How easy or tough is the bureaucracy in the city? Did I read it right?
Yeah, bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
He's talking about the city. We talked about that already. They're really helping. They're helping a lot. But you should know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, it's going to be a long process for you, and you're going to learn the hard way. In this course, we're trying to make it easy for you, right? That's what it is.
I'm new to Canada. How is commute usually from areas like Kitchener? How can anyone take a decision of taking a house in Windsor when most likely work will be in the place like Toronto, downtown, or Mississauga?
Can I answer this question?
Yes, please. I love to.
Smash that subscribe button to Aditya's channel, because he's talked about this on his previous videos. Why invest in Windsor? How much does it cost of living in Windsor? How much is it to buy a house in Windsor? If you're not seen his YouTube channel, sorry boss, you're not in Canada yet. All right, so smash his YouTube channel and you'll get all that information. That's what he's good at, and that's what he does.
Thank you, Sal. Man, again, that's where the team power comes in, right? You got to communicate with the people, get to know the people, and form a team.
Yep.
You don't have to be in town at all.
Yeah.
Half of my clients are out of town, and they're making a lot of money.
There you go.
So, I'm in IT. Hopefully, down the line, I plan to take a home in Canada. What research can I do now? Rahul, how can I buy a house in Windsor? How can I buy a house in Canada? How can I buy a house in Ontario? There you go. You get all the list. Use the Google efficiently.
Yep.
Roughly how much for house before legal duplex conversion, then how much for renovations, and how much for refinance for 3 months, and for what lenders, so that can refinance again with the better rates.
Okay.
I want you to take the question. I know some of the questions you answered, but one question I like from what he's asking is a great question, is refinancing part.
Yeah. Okay. So let's run the numbers first, right? So typical South Windsor house we're talking about, you purchased for $300,000, right? you're putting in another 100, let's say, we make the numbers simple, right? So 300,000, 20% down, that's 60,000 you need to have to put down on the house, right? Let's say if you're getting traditional financing, you are putting another 100,000 to renovate it or to add the legal second suite. So now you're 160 in, that's your total investment, okay? It's going to take you, I don't know, 4 to 6 months to actually do the work. You're going to go back to the bank and say, listen, Mr. Bank, I'm refinancing this as a duplex. They're going to appraise it. It's going to come back. If I say today, right now, 450. If you do it a couple of months from now, I'm almost sure it's going to be 500, right? So 80% loan to value of 500 is 400,000, right? You're going to get that. That's your new mortgage. Oh, sorry, that's the amount you're going to get back. You're paying your 160,000 off or your previous mortgage. You're still keeping whatever, you know.
So can we, like, this is the question from my side.
Yeah.
Can we, how much private money can we get?
Endless. There's money
Really?
everywhere. There's money everywhere. Guys, if you don't have that 160,000, you can go to a private lender and say, listen, lend me that 160,000 and the rates vary, right? So you can pay, I don't know, 5% if you know the guy, up to 12%, right?
Yeah.
Right now, that's the average rate. Even if you add that cost onto the amount, when you go to the bank, to the first class bank, right?
Yeah.
Or a lender and refinance, you're paying that full money off, right? And now you have this asset that's cash flowing. So the idea is to do it fast and quickly,
Yeah.
right? And that's why you need to know what you're doing. If you're trying to do this first time and you're using private money,
of course,
it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you, right? It's a risk, right?
Again, that's where the course come into picture. I think that's really good point, Savio, because especially if I'm newbie and I want to do such a kind of a project,
Yeah.
if I don't know anything, how can I present for someone? Because private money, it's also another point I want to add to that money.
Yeah.
Maybe people whom you know already have money, like in their RRSPs, in their like all this asset class where they can lend for someone has a private second money,
Yeah.
second mortgage or first mortgage.
Yeah.
So if you have to get that money, you have to present them the proper plan. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
How you going to do?
Yeah.
So that's where your course come into picture. No, I think that's a...
Yeah, I mean, for sure, just to finish that story, so I can give you an example. The house, I said, 2 projects we're starting September 1st. One of them is one of my own personal projects. I bought that completely private money, right? Completely. We bought it for 329,000 on Morris, I'm paying 8% interest on that, okay, on the full first mortgage. And that same lender is giving me another $100,000 at 12%, right, to do the construction. But I know what I'm doing. So in 4 months, 6 months, I'm going to go back to the bank, now use, a lender bank,
Yeah.
and pay off this guy. Yeah, it's expensive in the start, but now I have a cash flowing asset that's worth $500,000,
Yeah.
and I'm getting cash flow out of it, right? By the way, this kind of stuff, right, we are going to not teach you, but we're going to give you the contacts. So what happens is that basically after the course on Monday morning, we are going to give you the lenders, we're going to give you the mortgage brokers who are doing exactly this, because you can't go to any mortgage broker like a home buyer mortgage broker and say, I'm doing this refinance for a duplex. He's not going to know what the hell you're talking about, right? So we're going to give you Scott Dillingham, for example, who's proficient in this. We're going to give you Claire Drage in Hamilton area, who's proficient in this, who's doing this all the time. So they will present your case to the lender and they'll get you the best rates and they'll get you the approvals that you require.
Man, that's a really great point, because honestly, when I was like new, I was ripped off. Like a guy told me like, you'll get this and put me a big bill, and then he said no guarantee. But now all of a sudden talking to right people ease your process so much and take off so much stress from you. So I really love that.
No, it's important because, when we talk to these guys, these people that I mentioned, if you go by themselves, they're going to treat you like anybody else, but they know us. We give them volumes, right? So because of the volumes that we give them, they know the priority. You want to be priority. You don't want to be somebody else. So you're going through Savio, you're going through Ken Beckenham or Dylan Suter or Aditya. These lenders or the mortgage brokers, they know, okay, these guys are important for them.
Yeah. No, that's a big value.
Yeah.
My friend Ethan and David started dating and did not make enough money to buy a house together. How should they start making? Sorry, brother, I'm not here to discuss. I don't have any comments on that. Raman, thank you so much for a great session, guys. Yes, I just joined and you mentioned take your course, and what course is that and where is it? So we're gonna put it in the comments below. I wish we are in front of a computer to just throw the link in the description.
Can I do that right now?
Can you do that? Yeah, see,
Let me see. Where am I going? To YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube. Go on to YouTube. See, click where I'm live. Or just search Aditya Soma.
I'm going to put it in the comments right now, guys.
You're going to see the link for the course in the comments. So that's something, if you're curious, if you want to do a duplex conversion, this is a must course for you. Rabia, thank you. Sav and Aditya, thank you so much for hopping on, guys. Ozzy, thank you, guys. Oh man, I'm so bad at English.
What does it say? Aussie says
Trailblazers.
you guys are trailblazers. Okay, yeah. So okay, we're setting the world on fire.
Okay, got it.
That's a compliment, man.
Okay. English is not my first language, Savio. Yeah. What do you think the year-over-year appreciation rate is for duplexes in Windsor?
Holy smokes! You can, you have that information.
I can talk on and on that part, but I'll be very simple. So generally, duplexes are also residential properties. So generally the residential properties in anywhere in Windsor, like depends on the neighborhood appreciation, right? Overall, if the overall appreciation is like right now in Windsor is 15 to 20% a year. Again, that's right now from last few years. We don't know how it's going to go in future, but it's going in that way direction. So if overall Windsor residential appreciation is 15 to 20%, that means duplex is also approximately around that percent.
I'm going to add something to that. So one of the things, we're giving away a lot of freebies in this course, a lot of freebies. Okay, one of the things is a cash flow and a ROI calculator. Okay, this is something that I built myself. I'm originally a finance guy, right? So for me, numbers is super important. I think for any investors, it's important because it's all about numbers and not emotions, right? So when I started doing this, I didn't really get a grasp of the numbers. So I built this calculator myself from scratch to say, okay, how much money I'm actually going to make on this. Okay, so one of the fields, to answer your question, Ozzy, is appreciation. Okay, so as Aditya mentioned, in Windsor, it's 15% or whatever. Now, when I do my calculations for return on investment, I take the Ontario-wide appreciation rate, which is about 4%. Okay,
Conservative, very conservative.
Super conservative, and that's what you want to be as an investor, right? So, but that's a variable in the formula. So if you want to put 4%, the Ontario average, you want to put 15%, which is the Windsor average, it's up to you. But that is a tool that you're going to get for free if you join up for the course. And that took me a long time, I can tell you.
Wow.
Okay? Speaking of which, I put the link for the course in the comments there, in the chat.
There you go, guys.
And here is the most important part. So I'm going to put it here as well. Listen, there's a promo code. We have an early bird special. If you put the promo code and it's live for free, you put that promo code in the ticket, Eventbrite tickets, you're going to get a huge discount. It's about $200. You're going to get a discount. So that promo code is going to end at the end of next week. So you better sign up for that now.
So does anyone get any additional discount for being Aditya's follower?
I'm going to do one. I'm going to do one thing better, Aditya. So I'm going to give you, right? I'm going to give you 3 tickets, for free.
Awesome. So I'm gonna have another live, the next live.
Yeah.
So probably I gotta do something on this one then. I'll
let you decide.
I'm gonna give that. Okay.
I'll let you decide who you want to give that tickets to and how you want to give it. But because we are friends, we are business partners. I want to give that to you so you can give that to your audience, because again,
awesome.
It's not about the money for me. It's about sharing the knowledge.
Who wants those free tickets? Let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna do a next live. Probably I'll figure out how to give away these free tickets. I wanna give it in for a right person who is like really super serious, who can show me that they're really serious on taking this course. Why they got you're gonna tell me who you are, why you need this course. Then I'm gonna give away those free tickets.
If you haven't realized by now, we only deal with action takers, all right? So if you're not taking action,
100%.
You're not getting the ticket, that's for sure. Oh, there's a lot of questions. Wow.
A lot of questions we are piling up.
Okay, let's go.
So you know what? I Savio.
Yeah.
We already here like 1 hour 3 minutes. So let's give another 5 minutes just to answer these questions.
I think that's good.
And we'll wind out in 5 minutes.
Before my wife starts calling me.
Yeah. Before my wife come out from the bedroom and kick my ass. So did you guys recommend property managers or do you do yourself?
A bit of both. So we do some ourselves. We do some of clients do. They have property managers who are, because they're out of Windsor. So we have the contacts for that for sure.
Yeah, and my version is I do everything. I don't do any property management by myself because I know my personality. I melt down with that emotion so easily, especially the tenants. I tried in my first property. Yeah, for me, I realized like I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
So hired a property management company, and first one fired slowly and got a second one. Now second one is doing much better. So definitely, I in my opinion, especially if that is not your expertise, or if that's something you don't want to learn, then hire the right property management company, and this saves you a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best way to find properties for BRRRR investment in Windsor? So this is a duplex conversion BRRRR strategy we are talking about. So Savio, I want to remodify a little bit on that question, on Shibu's question. What's the best way to find this single families or properties that make sense for duplex conversions?
Yeah. Okay. Listen, if you're not coming for the course, then you got to do it yourself. You got to do the hard work yourself. I can tell you how I'm doing it. I am scanning every day the MLS, right, in the different neighborhoods that I want to actually do the legal conversions in. Now I know which neighborhoods are the ones which allow this, or which is the best neighborhoods to do this, right? I know that because of my experience. And in this course, we're actually going to give you an in-depth, detailed market analysis of Windsor, Hamilton, Welland, Brantford, St. Catharines. So you don't even have to do that research anymore, okay? Then we're going to link you up with the right realtor, right, who's actually going to find these properties for you. Yep. Right? And they know what we are looking for. We know what we are looking for. So the communication is easier. Okay. If you don't want to do that, if you want to come for the course and you want to do it yourself, you got to do market research. It's feet on the street. Yeah. You got to drive the neighborhoods. You got to know what you're looking for. What is required for a duplex conversion or any other kind of BRRRR. And you got to talk to your network, man. Having a power team is important. Your realtor is the number one guy you need to be with, right?
Yep. Love that. On top of that, you always have to be active, especially right now. It's a seller's market, which means finding the right deals is not that easy. So people who are active, who are actively looking, who are actively making offers are the one who get these deals.
Yeah.
You gotta make like 5, 10, 20 offers to get one transaction.
That's it. I mean, we hear it all the time. Everybody says, oh, there's no deals in the market. There's no deals. It's too expensive.
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong because you're not making offers.
Yeah.
You're not making offers.
Our client just got a property, our mutual client. So, it 100% makes sense for a duplex conversion. So the reason we got it, because literally we made like more than 5 or more than 10 offers in last like 1.5 month.
There you go. And she finally got one.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to take actions in a right way. Okay. So we got 4 more minutes. We answered that. Congratulations on your new property. Thank you, Yudi. Ramesh, does the cash ROI or for duplex conversion on average higher than the regular BRRRRs?
Yes. Answer is yes, it is. Trust me, it is. You'll know that in the cash flow and ROI calculator when you use that.
Awesome. Yuri, I'm about to finish my real estate course and becoming very hard to select a brokerage. My mind says go for EXP. My only concern is one-on-one training. Please answer. Okay, Yuri, I know it's a totally off topic, but that's something I can help you. Yuri, so here's the thing. If I made another video saying why EXP, but again, man, one-on-one, you don't get that from normal brokerages from every agent. But EXP, that's where you will understand. Like if you are joining EXP through me, I'm indirectly your mentor. I'm on your back to make sure you succeed. If you're taking actions, if you're willing to, learn, willing to, implement things that, how other people are doing. So you can find the mentor like me. Reach out to me, DM me. We can talk more on that. Chris, if you're looking to scale your HELOC from multiple properties, cannot achieve a perfect BRRRR to take all the money out, what is your recommendation for handling the outstanding balance? I think Savio, you can answer that part.
I assume the outstanding balance that is left in the property.
Yeah,
that's what you're going with, Chris. Private money, man.
No, I think what I mean is like now you refinance the property.
And you don't get 100% back.
You
You
get-
get
yeah.
you get 60%, 70% back.
Yeah.
So now you have the money in the property. You can't touch that because for the moment, right, until the value appreciates more. So if you want to continue to the next deal, I think he's talking about how does he expand his portfolio?
Yeah.
Get private money, because I'm telling you, there's no amount of rate that private money is expensive.
Love that. Yeah.
Because this kind of strategy will pay for that, for
Nice
sure.
question, Aditya, to Savio on how much can we get as a private money. A nice answer from Savio. It's endless and no looks awesome. As new investors, do I know private lender who can provide?
Yes, you know, Sheikh, you know the private lenders. It's in your Rolodex, it's in your phone book. You've not just called and asked yet. Okay?
I love
To get
that.
private money, you have to go through all your contacts and you gotta show them and explain to them what you're doing. Right?
Yeah.
If you're an existing investor, you have a portfolio. If you're a new investor, you don't. But you gotta show them on numbers. People who have money, they know numbers. They don't care about emotions. They know numbers, right? When you show them the numbers of such kind of a project, they're convinced. But you have to ask. Without asking, you'll never get it.
Love that. That's so true. So they have to believe in you. They have to believe in your numbers. When you refinance on your duplex, doesn't that just mean you owe more money back? Is
More
that-
money. Okay, so I think the question is basically when you refi, you're refining at a higher amount, so now your mortgage is higher. Correct. You're right. Absolutely, yes, you're right. However, once you get your rent, now you're renting up and down. Okay, so you're paying that higher mortgage. The rent is paying your mortgage down. That's the first thing. So you don't care about what the amount outstanding is because the tenants are paying for that, right? And at the end of the day, you're still getting money back, about $800, as we talked about. It's still cash flow after you're paying your mortgage payments, your property taxes, your insurance, your maintenance, your vacancy rates, so on and so forth. So good question, but yes, but you don't care.
Okay, so I know it's taking too long, so I'm gonna take another final 1 minute.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap up. We'll quickly answer. How can I get off market listings? You gotta get connected, get into the course.
Yeah.
How much do property managers typically charge? Typically 6 to 10%, depends on whom you're hiring. I'm studying for one ORAC exam. Tips, reach out to me, DM me. How can I find off-market deals? Again, I already answered. I'm in your neighborhood. I'm your neighbor in Windsor. Oh, hey neighbor. Prabhu, so what do you need a good 150K cash you bring to do a proper BRRRR for a duplex, or number won't make sense to give you an opportunity to pull your money outright? Or the numbers
I didn't understand that question. So what do you need a good 150 in cash you bring to do a proper BRRRR, or the numbers won't make sense? Sorry, Prabhu, I can't answer the question because I don't understand it. Just DM Aditya or myself or take a call with us and we can answer that in more detail if you want.
Yep, and if you want even more details, join the course. Guys, I think this is a lot of discussion. I never thought about duplex conversions, in this much detail. So definitely I would appreciate it for your time, Savio, and I'm excited for this course.
Yeah.
And guys, if you're serious about the course, let me know in the comments below. Tell me why you should get these free tickets, because I have 3 free tickets, and if you don't get that free ticket and you have the links in the description, I know it's 100% like you have like 1000% return on that money, every cent. So make sure you check that course and make sure you join the course.
Use the promo code.
Use the promo code LIVE for free.
Live for free.
LIVE for free. All caps.
All caps. I put it in the chat as well, so you have it.
Okay, so you can see it in chat. And if you have any questions, reach out to Savio. And thank you so much, guys, for hopping on. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much, Aditya. See you guys.
And this.